Hey guys, just thought I would share my beautiful October fall Saturday with you guys. I'm up here in the beautiful Sequoia National Forest, best scenery in the world. I mean, look behind me, doesn't get no better than this. Thought I'd come up here to unwind just a little bit, and on my ride up here, it's roughly 60 miles from my house. Had some thoughts on the bike that I was riding today. And basically what I rode today was the 2016 Suzuki DR200S. And I thought, you know what, man, I'm going to be up there, the beautiful scenery. I'm going to do a little review on this bike because I got to tell you, this bike doesn't get enough love, man. It doesn't get enough credit where it's actually due. I believe this is the #1 overall, I'm talking overall, lightweight dual sport on the market. And it's a proven bike. The bike's been around since 1986 or 87, I believe. Pretty much unchanged till 2015, and they actually modernized it, made it look a lot different. But underneath, it's still the same bike that it's always been. Anyways, without further ado, here you go. My 2016 Suzuki DR200S Dual Sport. And I'm going to get into why I think it's the best bike, okay, guys, here shortly. A couple of reasons, and I'm not going to talk about the WR250R because that bike's in a class by itself. It's 2 to 3 times more money and pretty much competes with the DRZ400. But the reason I think this is one of the best dual sports on the market all around is I'm going to compare it to a couple of other bikes. I'm going to compare it to the Honda CRF 250L, to the Yamaha XT225, aka the Cero, the Burro, and the Yamaha XT250, and the Shangzhen / CSC TT250, and the Bras and all the other ones that are out there. But I think I named the main ones, okay? I got a couple of mods on this bike I'll go over with you real quick. Number one, I got hand guards, of course, because when you're out here in the mountains all by yourself like I am today, in case some of you don't know what hand guards are, they're these little boogers right here. And basically, if you go down, what these metal aluminum brackets do is they protect your levers from breaking, and they protect your hands from getting smashed, okay? So I got hand guards on this thing. I went ahead and put some Renthal chubby handlebars on it. Give you a little bit better seating position. And of course, you got to have your X-grip ram mount to mount your GPS or your phone or whatever you're using. I mount my phone on it, and I also have a solar charger that I can mount on it to charge while I'm charging. It's actually a battery pack. It will completely recharge my phone and my headset and my helmet automatically. The other mod I got on it is these chubby wide foot pegs. You guys have no idea how much these foot pegs help. They help tremendously, especially when you're dual sport riding. You're supposed to stand up. And I got a Ricochet bash plate on the bottom. You know what happens if you're all by yourself out in the woods and you bash that thing and you lose all your oil, you're stuck. And last but not least, a DG exhaust. I know she's really, really dirty because guess what, man? I'm up in the mountains doing what I'm supposed to be doing with this thing. Now I'm going to get into why I think it is the best all-around dual sport as far as lightweight dual sports on the market, okay? They all have roughly the same horsepower, 20 horsepower. They all roughly go the same top speed, which is around between 60, 70 miles an hour. Hey, check it out. We got some horses coming by. It's a beautiful thing. Beautiful day for a ride, guys. And anyways, the reason I think it's the best all-around bike is because, like I was stating, they all go 60 to 70 miles an hour on the top end. Some have 5-speed, some have 6-speed. This particular bike's a 5-speed. It does about 75 miles an hour on the top end. And I know that the Honda CRF 230L has approximately 9.5 inches of ground clearance. This bike has slightly over 10, almost 11 as a matter of fact. And the other thing is that the Yamaha XT250 has got the highest ground clearance, I believe, in this class. It's roughly just slightly over 11 inches, okay? So they're all, you know, between 9 and 11 inches of ground clearance. An inch or two can be a big difference depending on the terrain you're in. Like, I was just in some really rough, rocky terrain, as a matter of fact. I was really surprised that I was able to make it up over the terrain that I made it. There was big boulders. I had a hard time picking a line, and I was kind of scared, but I plowed my way through it. But what makes this bike, I believe, the best overall bike, and believe it or not, it's got the smallest motor compared to all the competitors. It's only a 200. All the other ones are 225s, 250s, and so forth, so forth. What I like about this bike is a couple things. Number one, this baby's still carbureted. Still got a carburetor. I know some people like fuel injection. You know, they say it helps in the mountains, but you know what? I don't have any problems in the mountains. And I got to tell you what, man, if I'm up here by myself riding like I am today, and I go through a bunch of water and I blow a fuse or I short out an ECU, which is a, you know, engine control unit or electronic control unit, whatever you want to call it, my fuel injection quits working, I'm stranded, man. This carburetor here, a matter of 2 little screws if I had to. I got this toolkit under my seat. I can pop that baby off, clean it out, whatever I got to do, slap it back together, and I'm off and running. The other thing I like, and the other bikes that I'm comparing this to as well, this thing's air cooled, okay? No radiator to punch a hole in, to bend, to crack, to leak any type of fluid. It's also electric start, which I really, really like. Plus, you know what, man, since they remodeled this thing, the way it looks, it's a good looking bike. The 2014 or 13 and below still look like kind of like they did in the 80s. And I got a 2007 at home. Like I said, it's essentially the same exact motorcycle. But here's the one thing that this bike does that none of the others do, man. And I'm telling you, none of the others do. And let me show you. I took off from my house. I filled up my tank. It's 65 miles, man, just to get here, okay? 65 miles. The one thing that this thing has that none of the others have is almost a 3.5 gallon tank too. The other ones, you know, 2 gallons, 2.1 gallons. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments or whatever, but they got tiny gas tanks, man. And hell, if I would have drove up here from my house, I wouldn't have no gas to run around with. I mean, I still got a good 50 miles of riding up here I can do. And I still can make it home on the same fuel without even hitting reserve. So these things got range, man. I mean, these things have some range. Of all the small, lightweight, dual sport motorcycles out there, they're all pretty comparable. They are all pretty close in what they do. From what I've read and heard, you know, the Honda's got a good amount of torque. The CRF230L really low. But it runs out of torque real quick. And this Suzuki, believe it or not, even though it's, according to Adam Wahid in his review I saw online, even though it's, you know, 30 cc smaller, this thing, once it gets going, it just kind of blows right by the CRF230L. And it runs really, really good, man. But, you know, this thing's range is incredible. Gosh, this thing gets almost 70 miles a gallon. I've seen 78 and I've seen 80. I run it kind of hard. And matter of fact, it's, you know, it's a little rough because I've dropped it and crashed it and fallen on it. And, you know, the tank's got some scratches on it. It's got a dent in it right there. Got some scrapes on the side. Hell, it's a dual sport, man. That's what you're supposed to do with it, you know. And it's also the lightest one of, I believe, of all of the bikes. So, you know, if you fall down and you're all by yourself, you could pick this thing up, man. You could lift it all by yourself. You're not going to be stuck underneath it. Like having something that weighs 325 pounds. I think dry weight's 249 pounds on this thing. Something like 260, 265 wet, you know, full of fuel and oil. So it's a real lightweight bike. And it's a proven bike, man. It's been around forever. You know, a lot of people say, hey, how come they haven't gone to fuel injection? Or, hey, how come they haven't gone to a radiator on this thing or whatever? But I got to tell you, it's a proven bike. Been around forever. Very, very dependable. Pretty much a bulletproof deal, man. But anyways, you know, that's why I believe it is the #1 overall lightweight, you know, under 250 cc air-cooled dual sports around because of all of its capabilities. Really good ground clearance, proven motor, decent brakes. I know the CRF250L has a disc on the back. and so does the Yamaha. But from what I've read and heard, and I've ridden one or two of them, that rear disc is pretty grabby, not any better than the drum on this thing. The front brake on this thing's real good, doesn't dip real heavy. But you know, it's a proven bike, been around a long time, and I gotta tell you, the most range by far. I mean, the most range, the best gas mileage of all of them. Not only that, I got a hitch carrier that mounts on the back of my pickup truck, and it carries 600 pounds. And I often load my grandkids' TTR 90 and CRF 70 in the bed of my pickup, and I slide the hitch carrier on the back of my truck. And these things are light enough where I can put both these dirt bikes on my hitch carrier, and I don't have any problems, man. I mean, that thing works really good. If these were 300 pounders or even slightly over, that would take away that capability. I'd have to buy a trailer. And don't get me wrong, guys, I don't use a trailer or anything like that. I just sometimes, you know, my grandkids live up in Oregon. It's 800 miles. I'm not gonna ride a dual sport, you know, 800 miles. I'll throw it in the back of my truck and go, but I'll easily ride it, you know, 50, 80, 100 miles to my destination if I'm gonna ride. But anyways, that's my 2 cents on the, you know, Suzuki DR200S or the DR200 SE, either one, and why I believe that it is the best lightweight, air-cooled, all-around dual sport that there is. Anyways, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Peace out.